Hello everybody, Paul here. Today I'm going to be doing a shave with the OneBlade Core razor. Just kind of give you my thoughts on this razor. When the OneBlade first came out, I was it piqued my interest because it's something different. It's kind of a modern looking razor that holds a feather single-edged blade. And see if I can get the blade out. My hands are wet, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get it out of there. But it holds one of the, here we go, one of these feather single-edged blades here. So it kind of piqued my interest. I thought it was kind of neat. So it just slides in the back there. Slides in and then just kind of clicks into place, and there you go. Simple. I was, really interested in the OneBlade stainless steel razor, and then I got onto the website and found out that that razor was like $400, and it just never went ahead and got that. That just even I have my limits, and I wasn't going to spend $400 on a kind of a modern style razor that I don't even know if I'm going to like it. So when I saw this thing come up in my Facebook feed, I took a look at their website and found the thing was like 50 bucks, and I thought, heck, I'll go ahead and give that one a try. So there it is, Core the OneBlade Core. The razor is made out of a plastic material, and it has like a metal rod that goes through the middle of it, so it actually feels pretty hefty in the hand. It definitely has some weight to it, much heavier than what I expected. And I'm going to go ahead and do a shave with it and kind of give you my thoughts. And for my soap today, I'm going to be using just good old Cella. And my brush, I'm using the Simpson Tulip T4. And we'll go ahead and just make some lather here. Go ahead and load the brush. Give it a good, nice, healthy loading of soap. It's been a little while since I've had Cella here at the house. I did have a tub of it, but I gave it away. I can't remember. I gave it away to a friend or one of my family members. I can't remember. I kind of went through a period there where I was not really into the smell of the Cella, that almond scent. But since I got this new one, I've kind of been enjoying it. It's kind of a nice, simple scent. It goes with a lot of different aftershaves, and the soap has been really pretty outstanding. So we'll go ahead and... I really forgot in the time I didn't have it how good this stuff really is. So there's the soap. I just kind of load it on the puck there, get a nice, healthy loading of the soap on the puck, and get my brush fully loaded there, and just get some of the excess there so we don't waste anything. And we'll go ahead and get going here. Okay, looks pretty good. Just rinse this off and we'll get going with the shave, and I'll give you my thoughts on this razor. So I had originally bought a bunch of the feather blades in a group buy like several years ago with some guys when we were kind of into the ballet auto strop razors. And I have a couple of those ballet auto strop razors around here, and those were the blades that you needed in order to use that razor. And it's my understanding that when the OneBlade came out, they had kind of like a deal with Feather where they were kind of the exclusive buyer of those blades, and you couldn't get them for a while, but I'm not sure if that's still the case. I think I've seen these blades around anymore, so maybe their exclusive deal with Feather kind of expired. I'm not sure. Maybe if anybody knows about that, they can comment below and share that with everybody else. So anyways, here we go. Here's the OneBlade, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. One thing's kind of interesting, this does pivot kind of like a cartridge razor actually, and kind of one thing I found about this razor is that it does shave or have a feel in the hand, and its function is very similar to a cartridge razor, but you have the kind of the ability to use just a single blade, and so it's like kind of a, I guess the design's kind of a mix of modern and classic wet shaving. So that's the first pass. And one thing I found about this razor is kind of interesting is that unlike some of my DEs where I have to kind of raise the angle, this one actually works better. It seems like you get a better shave with a flatter angle, and just let the head kind of follow the contours of your face, which is a little bit different technique than I would use for a normal DE razor, or like something like a mongoose or something like that. So the technique is a little bit different with this razor, and it kind of requires this slightly alteration of the technique in order to get the best or optimal shave with this razor. But once you do get the technique down, it actually provides a really excellent shave. And I think, I may have said this in a previous video, that I thought that the injector razors would be like a good stepping off point for someone who wants to get into wet shaving and is used to using cartridge razors. That would be a nice transition razor, but I think this razor really would fit that bill quite nicely. For this would be a really good razor for a guy who's used to using cartridges, but is apprehensive about using a regular double-edged razor, but wants to use something different. This razor, you use a single blade, and but it's the usage of it is very similar, I think, to a cartridge razor, and so I think this would allow for a pretty easy transition between usage of a cartridge razor and then getting into kind of classic wet shaving. So here we go, third and final pass. Another nice thing about this razor is it does have a pretty good audible feedback, and you also have some pretty good tactile feedback with this razor as well. The razor seems to give some good feedback. You can kind of feel the razor shearing the whiskers when you've got the right angle, and you definitely have a nice feel on the face. The razor is pretty mild. At no point do you really ever get the feeling like you're in danger of seriously cutting yourself with this razor. It feels like that it's pretty safe, which I think engenders some confidence in the user. But it really does provide a pretty nice shave once you get the technique down. Nice, smooth, comfortable shave, quite efficient. Feels mild or safe, however you want to put it, but still relatively efficient. I've never used the actual real OneBlade razor. I've seen videos on it where people say it's more aggressive than this, but this is seems you know, like a pretty decent offering. I'm pretty happy with this razor. I think it's a pretty interesting idea, and I think the guys at OneBlade did a good job with this one. So I don't know that I would exclusively go to using that razor versus a regular DE razor. I think, you know, overall for me, since I've been using the DE razors and straight razors for so long, it's become kind of habitual, you know, how to use them, and I can get, you know, probably a better shave without having to think as much about it as I do with that one. You know, I really have to think about the angle and try and make sure that I'm keeping the razor relatively, or the handle relatively, you know, parallel or flat to the face, and allowing the head to kind of follow the contours of my face. But it's fun to use, and it's kind of a neat alternative, you know, when I'm feeling like I want to use something different. Just I kind of like to pull that one out, or, you know, if I'm in a hurry and I just want a quick, easy shave, I'll pull that out, and it seems to work pretty good. So anyways, that's kind of my feelings on the OneBlade Core razor. Nice razor, easy to use, you know, comfortable, and I think a good transitional razor for someone who's maybe transitioning from cartridge razor shaving to a classic wet shaving. So for my aftershave, I'm going to go ahead and use the Cella aftershave. I bought this when I got the soap, which I got at Rubinoff's Barber Supply here in Phoenix. And I actually didn't realize they had an aftershave, and I took a whiff of this, and I was fully expecting this to smell like the soap, have that kind of sweet almond smell, but this actually has kind of a citrusy smell, kind of, you know, reminds me actually of, in a funny way, Aqua de Jo in a kind of an odd way. But it has a nice scent to it, and it's kind of a nice citrusy, fresh scent, not overpowering. It doesn't last particularly long, and doesn't compete with you know, other aftershaving cologne, as long as you're kind of in the same ballpark. I did kind of doctor this up with a little menthol. I added some menthol crystals to this, and it kind of made it a little cloudy. But man, I really enjoy this scent with the menthol. It really is awesome. So anyways, guys, that's the shave for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you soon.